Amateur Radio Newsline will start in 5 minutes.
W8WKY.
KCA, clock screen vector.
QV. If you guys, yeah, I'm coming. I'm in green right now. In road 91. QV. Please. Yeah, I'm coming on. So, slowly standing by. I'm KCF-QV by 2 airlines. Good.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2474 with the release date of Friday, March 28th, 2025. To follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, is a QST. In the Netherlands, amateur radio signals bounce off of Venus and back to Earth. An international team of operators raises awareness of autism spectrum disorder, and Newsline's April Fool's Day correspondent is back with some big news for you. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2474 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. And now reporting from Valparaiso, Indiana, here's Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
Our top story this week is a first for radio telescope in the Netherlands, which succeeded in bouncing amateur radio signals off of Venus, the latest such achievement by scientists around the world. Stephen Kinford, N8WB, brings us this update.
Amateur radio signals that were bounced off Venus from 26 million miles away have returned to Earth, where they were picked up by the Downeast radio telescope, PI-9RD, in the Netherlands, according to news reports on the 25th of March. The achievement, the second of its kind in Europe, means that amateur radio signals covered a distance that is more than 100 times greater than those that are traveled by Earth-Moon-Earth, or moon-bound signals. Scientists' fascination with using Venus bounce dates back several decades when radar was bounced off the planet from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology here in the United States. Much later, radar from the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico was bounced off Venus, and the signals returned to Earth was picked up by the Green Bank Telescope in West Virginia. The radar trace was used to create imagery of the planet's surface. It was a German observatory that achieved what is considered a first for Europe using amateur radio waves. A team from AMSAT-DL achieved bounce and successful reception 16 years ago at the ground station at the Bochum Observatory, sending a CW signal. Until the Downeast Venus bounce, this was the only such achievement to date of its kind. Meanwhile, in the U.S., California not-for-profit group, the Open Research Institute, has begun a project as well involving Venus-Earth experimentation. ORI asks interested hams to contact them via their website, opensearch.institute. That's opensearch, one word, .institute. This is Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
Smartphone users in the UK could soon be able to connect wirelessly to satellites under a proposal being considered by that nation's regulator, as we learn from H.
The UK is poised to have the first European telecommunications system that enables standard smartphones to send and receive signals from space. The system, known as direct-to-device technology, connects smartphones wirelessly to satellites. A similar permission was recently authorized in the US by the Federal Communications Commission. The UK regulator, Ofcom, is proposing to allocate radio frequencies for use in the UK, especially for rural and other currently underserved communications network areas, and is inviting comments from the public until the 20th of May. Ofcom believes that this could both facilitate sending text and internet connections during outages, and that access would be allowed to the mobile airwaves for two-way communications between smartphones and satellite operators' networks. If approved, service could begin to roll out later this year. There has already been a promising field test of the technology in January under a trial license issued to Vodafone, who, using a standard smartphone, completed the first satellite video call from a remote part of Wales, currently without standard mobile network coverage. This is Jeremy Bucci for NJH.
Autism spectrum disorder is often misunderstood, but an international effort is going on the air starting on April 2nd to change all that. We have those details from Jack Parker, W8ISH.
The call for autism awareness will be heard around the world during the week of April 2nd through to April 8th. Hams will be calling CQ Special Event Autism Awareness Week, encouraging inclusion and awareness of the autism spectrum disorder. This event is being organized for the third year by James Gallo, KB2FMH, who believes the best impact the activation can have is its engagement of other operators in rag chews or short chats about their experiences with autism. James says that because this is not a contest, the real prize is the experience of meaningful contact and conversation, spreading the word that it's okay to be different. During last year's event, that message traveled far and wide. In the U.S., listen for the call sign W2A. Listen for other stations around the world, including GB2AA, 8A2AAW, S76A, VO1BIG/VE3, and 7A2M. Visit the QRZ.com page for W2A to see which call signs are participating and to learn more about the autism spectrum disorder, which is an often misunderstood diagnosis or may go altogether undiagnosed. This is Jack Parker, W8ISH.
Although the U.S. administration is making cuts to the parent agency of Voice of America and other international news services, the Voice of America Museum in Westchester, Ohio, is assuring visitors that it is not affected by these government decisions. The museum is a standalone, not-for-profit entity that relies on support from the public, not federal funding. The museum's executive director, Jack Dominic, released a statement reassuring concerned hams and other callers that the museum will continue to tell the story of the Voice of America, even as the news agency itself goes silent. As always, the museum looks forward to seeing hams from around the world during Hamvention this coming May. Museum hours during Hamvention will be from noon to 9 p.m. on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's May 15th through to May 17th. And on Sunday, May 18th, from noon to 5 p.m. Admission is $10 at the door. Amateur radio station WC8VOA will be on the air, so bring a copy of your license. In related news, a federal court in the United States has declared that Radio Free Europe and Radio Liberty, one of the government-run news services marked for dismantling by the White House, cannot be terminated. The U.S. District Court said that the news service's continued operation, serving listeners overseas, was, quote, in the public interest, end quote. According to a report on the Radio World website, the judge's ruling on March 26th concluded that, quote, irreparable harm, end quote, would result from any shutdown. Many of us are familiar with the twice-a-year ritual of turning the clocks ahead or rolling them back. But how about turning the calendar back, say, 90 years? Andy Morrison, K9AWM, tells us why some CW ops simply can't wait to do that.
It's time to put away your software-defined rig and enjoy being behind the times, way behind the times. The George Batterson 1935 QSO party will devote 2 weekends in April to rigs that were either manufactured or home-brewed in 1935 or before. CW Ops will be looking to make QSOs on the weekends of April 5th through the 7th and April 12th through the 14th to honor the silent key George Batterson W2GB, who was one of the original founders of the Antique Wireless Association based in upstate New York. The CW Ops are hoping for contacts with as many other 1935-era stations as possible on 160, 80, 40, and 20 meters. And they expect that, like the rigs themselves, the experience will be a classic. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
We remind our listeners that the young hams who live in the continental United States have an opportunity to make news, if they aren't already doing so, by being a recipient of this year's Amateur Radio Newsline Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award. Consider nominating an amateur radio operator 18 years of age or younger, someone who has talent, promise, and a commitment to the spirit of ham radio. Do you know someone who might qualify to receive this year's honor? Find application forms on our website, arnewsline.org, under the YHOTY tab. Nominations are now open. We are accepting nominations through May 31st. Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the W8ODJ Summit County Aries repeater on 444.550 megahertz in Akron, Ohio, on Thursdays at 8 p.m. local time. religious pilgrimage in India ended with an additional but unintended journey for an 80-year-old widow who is unable to speak. That is, until a group of hams helped her find her way home recently. Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, has the story.
The Hindu pilgrimage known as the Gangasagar Mela left an 80-year-old participant lost and alone at the end of the event this past January. She had become separated from the group she had travelled with from her home state. Unable to speak, she was eventually taken to the local police station where officers assumed she was ill and transported her to the district hospital. That's when another group, an amateur radio organisation known as the West Bengal Radio Club, was called in by police to solve the mystery of where she was from. The club's members are widely known for their robust communications network, which has assisted scores of displaced persons over the years. Using amateur radio and other means, the club circulated information about the woman and sent a photograph to amateur radio clubs around the country. Within a few hours, the response came back that the woman was from the state of Uttar Pradesh and had travelled to the annual pilgrimage by train with a group from the district of Baliar. The hams learned that during the past 2 months, several people from Baliar had returned to West Bengal to look for her, but without success. The hams provided the missing pieces to the puzzle, and according to Ambrashna Biswa, VU2JFA, secretary of the radio club, the police in her home district have since been directed by the local magistrate to bring her safely home. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2VHF.
Congratulations to John Schouten, VE7TI, who has been inducted into the Canadian Amateur Radio Hall of Fame for 2024. John was a founding member of the Vancouver Emergency Community Telecommunications Organization, where he has also been a director. He has also served as a local emergency coordinator for Radio Amateurs of Canada for Vancouver. Over the years, John has been regional amateur radio representative and local municipal amateur coordinator for the British Columbia Provincial Emergency Program. He is active with the Surrey Emergency Program Amateur Radio Group and the Surrey Amateur Radio Communications, where he serves as director and developer of its course for the Basic Amateur Radio Exam. He is also editor of the club's newsletter, The Communicator. The Hall of Fame honor was also given posthumously to Adam Farson, VA7OJ, who became a silent key in March of 2024. A winner of the Technical Achievement Award at Ham Invention in 2022, Adam's wisdom and expertise was much sought after on a wide range of HF transceivers and amplifiers. The retired telecom engineer was a longtime member of the North Shore Amateur Radio Club. In Fiji, a team of hams has been honoring a friend and fellow de-expeditioner who left a lasting legacy. We hear more from Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
The de-expeditioner and humanitarian known as Zorro, Juliet Hotel 1 Alpha Juliet Tango, left enduring footprints on the planet where so many entities in Asia and Africa spelled adventure for him on his activities. His legacy reflects his commitment beyond merely calling QRZ from these locales. His many humanitarian works include the establishment of the Foundation for Global Children in 2010. He also gave an endowment to the Index's Humanitarian Aid Fund. Zorro sought to improve the lives of people wherever his travels took him, especially children. When he became a silent key in March of 2022 at the age of 72, his death from cancer left a void that his friends continue to fill in the same spirit with which Zorro lived his life. The special event station 3 Delta 2 Alpha Juliet Tango has been on the air from Fiji since the 16th of March to honour Zorro and will continue through the end of April, with operators using CW, SSB, FT4, FT8 and VARAC. 4-page QSL cards will be available after the activation, featuring a collection of photos from Zorro's life and the statement from him, quote, "I shall go wherever I am needed, and I shall do whatever needs to be done," end quote. 3 years after his passing, Zorro Yasuo Miyazawa continues to be remembered with this memorial activation, even as his other good works carry on as well. For more details, see the QRZ.com page for 3D2 AJT. This is Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
In the world of DX, listen for call sign 4K0T on the air from the Kizi Mountains of Azerbaijan on the 29th and the 30th of March. The team will be using single sideband and FT8 on 80 through 10 meters. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Dave, G4OSY, is using the call sign 8P9EI from Barbados, IOTA number NA021 through to the 6th of April. Dave can be found on CW and single sideband on 40 through 10 meters. QSL to his home call signs. Listen for Alex, K6VHF, who is calling QRZ as K6VHF/HR9 from Roatan Island, IOTA number NA057 in Honduras, from the 30th of March through to the 6th of April. Alex is using mainly the digital modes on 80 through 6 meters. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Our final story comes from someone who is possibly Newsline's hardest working correspondent of all, Pierre Pullenmaleg. Pierre works so hard that he only has time for one story a year on April Fool's Day. He's back in time for this year's April 1st exclusive. Remember, you heard this report first on Amateur Radio Newsline. In fact, this is probably the only place you'll hear it. Pierre?
Bonjour, mes amis. Pierre has wonderful news. Those nasty solar storms that are messing with our QSOs are sacre bleu. They have inspired the biggest changes in the popular award schemes. And now, thanks to these changes, everyone can now compete in the middle of a radio blackout. Do you do the POTA, SOTA, OTA, IOTA, or any other OTA? Well, you will celebrate this, mes amis. It is time for parks off the air, summits off the air, beaches off the air, islands off the air. Well, you get the idea, yes? The rules, well, you must go to a park. You must climb a summit or go to the beach and then stay there for as long as you can, even overnight. Do absolutely nothing for hours. Do not even bring your radio, mes amis. You do not even need to be licensed. Oh, this is easy, man, no? Pierre, in fact, he does this every day and has even won a big trophy for couches off the air and inflatable mattresses off the air and, I might add, bar stools off the air. Oh, Pierre is a very big winner there. Cordon bleu. You will excuse me now, please. Another competition is about to begin, and Pierre is so very, very thirsty. This is Pierre pulling my leg for Amateur Radio Newsline. Au revoir, mes amis.
Have you sent your amateur radio haiku to Newsline's Haiku Challenge yet? It's as easy as writing a QSL card. Send your thoughts down using traditional haiku format, a 3-line verse, with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Submit your work site at arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to Amateur News Daily, AMSAT DL, Ambarish Nag Biswa, VU2JFA, David Behar, K7DB, Dwingelo Observatory, DX World, Jack Dominic, James Gallo, KB2FMH, Ofcom, QRZ.com, the Radio Amateurs of Canada, shortwaveradio.de, space.com, the Wireless Institute of Australia, Yahoo Finance, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, nonprofit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operations. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, Katie.
Timeout. 15-second lock. Timeout. End.
The weekly Serenade, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe, starts in 5 minutes. Get ready for the weekly Serenet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, Sarah and friends. CQ. This is W8WKY calling CQ for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net. My name is Gary. My personal call is Alpha 8 Charlie Sierra, and I'll be your net control operator this evening using the club call W8WKY. We meet on this repeater every Tuesday night at 8 p.m., and we encourage all amateurs to participate. This is a controlled net. Please direct traffic through net control. As always, priority or emergency traffic may break into this net at any time. Tonight, we'll take in and out traffic. Then we'll follow that with a round of regular check-ins. Then we'll present tonight's trivia question. Yes, we will, and it's a good one. Well, at least I think it's a good one. But before we get started, just a couple of announcements. We have a Sarah-sponsored VE session coming up this Saturday, April 5th at Sharon Center United Methodist Church. That address is 6407 Ridge Road, also in Wadsworth. More information available on our website, w8wky.org. Under the Education tab, all the information you need for that particular VE session. Also, our April Sarah membership meeting will be April 17th at 7 p.m. at the Wadsworth Eagles, located, 9953 Rittman Road in Wadsworth. The Tech Talk this month will be presented by ARRL Ohio Section Emergency Coordinator, Brett Stemmen, KD8SCL. We're looking forward to hearing from Brett, so pencil in April 17th, make plans to attend, and bring a friend. Oh, yeah. And finally, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's annual Hamfest will be this Saturday, April 5th, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Emilio and Sons Party Center. That's located at 48 East Bath Road in Cuyahoga Falls. Same place it's always been. Great Hamfest. The admission is $8. It's a great place to meet up with area hams for an eyeball QSO. Make plans to attend. Bring a friend again. Yeah. Makes it more fun. That's all I have announcement-wise. Does anyone else have any announcements for the group tonight? If so, please call W8WKY. All right, nothing heard. As I mentioned, we'll do in and out traffic first, followed by a round of regular check-ins. We'll then present a trivia question when checking in this evening. Please give me your call sign, your name, and your location. At this time, I'll take in and out traffic for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net. Please call W8WKY.
Kilo Delta 8, November Echo Oscar, KD8 NEO, Darrell, Holmes County. Happy April Fools.
QFA, Sir Motto, Sir. Martin Wadford, in and out.
WAAKOC, Fred in Akron, in and out.
Whiskey 8, Charlie, Tango, Mike, Carrie, Portage Lakes, in and out.
Kilo Bravo 8, Victor, Hotel Mike, Tommy Green, in and out.
Kilo Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8 TLB. Randy and Ribbon, I'll be in and out, 73. God bless everyone.
W8WKY.
Kilo Echo 8, India Mike Echo David Sterling, in and out.
Kilo Echo 8, Yankee November Juliet, KE8YN
YNJ. John in Norton, in and out.
All right, I'll pick it up. Yeah, just one blank I have to fill in here. Tom from Green, you cut off your prefix. I copied 8VHM, Victor Hotel Mike. If you could come back with your prefix, Tom, I'd really appreciate it.
Sure, it's Kilo Bravo 8.
Roger that, and thank you for that. I do appreciate it. KB8VHM got you in and out, along with KD8NEO, KE8SFS, WA8KOC. Good evening, Fred. Good to hear you. W8CTM, and the aforementioned KB8VHM, KE8TLB's in there, KE8IME, KE8YNJ. John from Norton. All right, that's who I have so far. Did I miss anybody? And who else would like to join us? In and out check-ins, please. All right, nothing heard. We're going to have a ton of people for our regular check-ins this evening. Very, very cool. So, if you'd like to join us and participate in the trivia question, this is W8WKY. Name here is Gary, and looking for check-ins. Come on down.
This is Kilo Alpha 8, Lima Yankee Juliet, KA8LYJ, Bob in Barberton.
Kilo Echo 8, Alpha Romeo Bravo, KE8 ARB, Brandon Mobile.
November Tango, 8 Delta, NTAD, Dave in Copland.
WWKY, this is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Lima Golf, KD8SLG, Nick down the farm.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Oscar X-Ray, KE8 VOX, Scott, Vermillion, Ohio.
Whiskey 8 Tango Delta, W8TD, John in Wadsworth.
Good evening, Gary. Kilo Echo 8, Echo Hotel Golf, Mike in Navarre.
Whiskey 8 Tango Mike, WW8TM Choo-Choos in Green, Ohio, in and out.
Please copy Kilo Echo 8, Uniform India Bravo, KE8 UIB, John in Massillon.
Alpha 8, Charlie Tango, Craig in Shreve.
Kilo Alpha 8, Mike, November Tango, Tom in Canton.
This is WO3X, Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray. Name here is John. I'm in Cuyahoga Falls.
Kilo Charlie 8, Hotel Delta Papa, KC8 HDP, Jerry in Shreve.
All right, nicely done. Nicely done. All right, let's go through our list here. KA8LYJ's in there. KE8ARB Mobile. Brandon, stand by. We'll get right to you, buddy. NT8D, KD8SLG, KE8VOX, W8TD, KE8EHG. Good evening, Mike. Good to hear you, man. It's been a while. And I didn't get confused that time with the call. WW8TM, Choo-Choo's good to hear you, man, but you're in and out. right. We're going to catch up with you one of these days, buddy, and you better be careful. Good to hear you, though, that's for sure. KEA-UIB is also in there. AA8CT, KA8MNT, WO3X, my favorite zero station. KC8, HDP, Jerry, the way it should be done. There you go, Jerry. Thank you for being here, and thanks for the enunciation. I really appreciate it. At least these old ears do. All right, I think we got them all there. Anybody else like to join us? We'll take one more call here, and then I'll give you the tonight's trivia question. If you'd like to join this motley crew, Tuesday Night Net, come on down.
Kilo 4 Oscar Golf. My name is Mark. I'm in Copley, Ohio.
All right, we added only one, but only one significant one. Yeah, K4OG. Good evening, Mark. Got you in the log. All right, let's see if I can find tonight's trivia question. Yeah, we're going to, since it is April Fool's Day, we're going to jump on that theme tonight. And here's your question. Which of the following was not an actual April Fool's Day hoax? Yeah. Let me read it again, because it's one of those tricky questions. Which of the following was not an actual April Fool's Day hoax? Here's your distractors. A, left-handed burger. B, the flying penguins of Antarctica. C, Big Ben goes digital. D, the melon, a fruit that changes flavors. E, the Eiffel Tower relocation project. I hope you guys have fun with this one. I had a lot of fun figuring it all out, but man, let's do it again. Which of the following was not an actual April Fool's Day hoax? Was not an actual April Fool's Day hoax? A left-handed burger. B, the flying penguins of Antarctica. C, Big Ben goes digital. D, the moon melon, a fruit that changes flavors. E, the Eiffel Tower relocation project. And there you have it, gang. We're going to get right to Brandon here, KE8A Mobile, to take it, AA8CS. Go ahead, Brandon.
All right, AACS, rest of the group, this is KE8ARB. I'm going to have to go with E for Eiffel Tower because I think the Eiffel Tower is enough of a April Fool's Day joke. So I don't think they tried to do anything else with it. And real quick, I just say, Josh, W8HRF and I, we got out to a park tonight, did an activation, and now I'm mobile here trying to check into the net. Hopefully I'm making it. Doing what you said, Gary, trying to be radioactive. So, anyhow, in the making it, I'm going to hand things back to the net and say 73 AA8CS. This is KE8ARB.
All right, Brandon, very good. Got you down for E. And, yeah, well, congratulations. You and Josh, W8HRF, doing your thing, being radioactive, and that is a good thing. All right, I don't think we have any other short timers, so let's go to the top, KA8LYJ. Bob, good evening. And what do you have for the net, and what do you think the answer to tonight's trivia question might be? Over to you.
W8WKY.
AA8CS, this is KA8LYJ. Not much going on today, kind of a quiet day. As far as the trivia question, oh, good heavens. Some of them I actually heard. They all seem plausible. That's the problem. I'm going to just take a wild guess and say bravo. That's about it here. KA8LYJ, turning it back over to net control.
All right, Bob. Very good. Thanks for being here this evening. KA8LYJ. Got you down for Bravo. It was a chilly day, but the sun was out. That's a good thing. Kind of a nice day. We'll take it. I had lunch with my sister and my stepmom. Quite nice. And that's my claim to fame today. We're going to clear with LYJ. Let's pick up Dave, NT8D. Dave, by the way, when you checked in, your audio was really, really light. I don't know if you're using a different radio or something else was going on, but I've never heard you sound this light. But anyway, just so you know, NT8D to take it. W8WKY.
All right, thanks. Let me know. Might need to replace the battery in the microphone. Thanks for picking up my Monday there, Gary. Appreciate that. Doc says I've got arthritis. Had to do a blood draw to figure out what kind. Wait to hear the answer on that. I'm going to go with a left-handed burger for the answer for tonight because I am left-handed. And that was the only one that wasn't complicated enough and elaborate enough to be convincing to me. So I think that was letter A, Alpha, left-handed burger, so I'll go with that one. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday. And before you go on to the next person, let me know if I need to replace the battery on this mic. Back to W8WKY at TAD.
All right, Dave, very good. Got you down for letter A, Alpha, left-handed burger. You sound fine. That time your audio was up more so than when you checked in, so hopefully you're a little closer to the mic. But you still sound different than you normally do. So it may be a pending battery or voltage drop in your battery for the mic or whatever. But if you're using the same stuff, something's different. Let me just put it that way. You sound fine. And we heard you just fine, especially the second time around. Hope that helps. All right, we're going to clear with NT8D. Let's pick up Just Nick, KD8SLG. How you doing, sir? This is W8WKY.
W8WKY, this is KD8SLG. Good evening, Gary, and all the Sarah Club netizens. Good to hear you, man. It was weird hearing you on a Monday morning. It really was. Thanks for doing that. And Dave, your audio was low. Let's go with trivia. I'm going with the Mood Melon Delta. I mean, how's it know what to change to into your mouth? That's just silly. That's all I got tonight, Gary. KD8SLG, back to net control.
Silly, you say? Okay, I'll take that as a win. KD8SLG, good evening to you, Nick. And we changed it up on Monday. I think Dave referred to it as a curveball. There you go. All right, KD8SLG. Nick, have a fabulous evening, and we'll talk soon. Clearing with SLG. Let's pick up Scott, KE8VOX in Vermilion. I don't even remember when I called you on Friday there, Scott. That was sort of kind of embarrassing, actually. But go ahead. Take it away. KE8VOX, W8WKY.
W8WKY, this is KE8VOX, Scott up here on the shores of Lake Erie. Well, let's see, trivia, I'm going to go with A, Alpha. I don't even know how you would make a left-handed burger, but I can imagine people believing that the Eiffel Tower is getting moved and all that other stuff, but that left-handed burger, that's a little bit too far out there for me to think you could ever pull the wool over somebody's eyes with that one. So I'm going to go with A, but I had a terrific Tuesday up here, family lunch. It was bright and sunny and a little chilly, but I'll take that sun any day over gray clouds, but I'll take that over snow too. So I had a great day up here, Gary. Just fantastic. Got the permits for the new house going and whatnot. So one step closer to I guess being less radioactive because I'll be building the house here shortly. So that's all I got. W8 WKY K8 VOX.
All right, Scott. Well, remember, you got to check in with us periodically and let us know that you're still doing well and all is good up there on the shores of Lake Erie. So if you decide not to be so radioactive, just remember where your friends are. All right, buddy. You take care. Have a terrific evening, and we'll talk to you again real soon. And I got you down for Alpha, by the way. KE8VOX, we're going to clear with you. Let's pick up John, W8TD. Good evening, John. This is W8WKY. What say you?
W8WKY in the net, W8TD. Wadsworth, nothing really to report. I guess I'd hang around and listen to the net rather than go in and out. So I'm listening, but nothing to contribute. And the trivia is perhaps too trivial. I don't think that it's possible to state that any one of those has never been presented as a April Fool's hoax. Practically everything has. So with that, 73, I'll be listening out. Talk to everybody soon. W8TD.
So, John, let me get this right. Your answer is that there is no answer. Oh, boy. All right. We'll take that as an answer. Thanks for stopping by, though, John. We do appreciate that, and we'll talk to you again real soon, I'm sure. All right, we're going to move on to KE8EHG. Mike, good to hear you. It's been a while, so start at the beginning, tell me everything, and don't leave anything out. KE8EHG to take it. W8WKY.
Hey, good evening, Gary. Good evening, everyone on the net. Yes, long time no speak. I hope you're doing well and everyone's doing well. I talked to Tom earlier, MNT, and I played a heck of a joke on my neighbor. And make a long story short, he bought searched forever a used sweet bike, Victory Vegas motorcycle. Well, I played a heck of a trick on him. I asked his wife for the VIN number, and I had somebody call up. He bought it in Connecticut, and I had somebody call up and pretend to be the Connecticut State Highway Patrol, and they're investigating that particular cycle place because they were selling stolen motorcycles, and we needed his VIN number. I let him stew for a long time. I called him up, and he's like, I can't believe what's happening. And I'm like, what? And he told me all about it, and I said, okay. And then I let him stew for a while, had somebody else call him up, and got him really worked up and everything like that. And I called him back, and I said, John, I got your VIN number. He goes, you do? He said, I'll pull the truck over. You work for a trucking company. I said, John, I had your VIN number 3 days ago. He goes, yeah? And he goes, why? I said, what's today, buddy? He goes, oh, no, yeah, I cannot say it because the FCC will be knocking on my door if I say what he said. So, but anyways, he met a few weeks later the Connecticut State Highway Patrolman because he delivered to that particular business, and he has not retaliated yet. Break for time. So that's my April Fool's joke that I played on my neighbor. Now he's a fellow ham, so I'm sure he'll get me one of these days. So answer the question, I don't know. I'm going to try C. I don't know. And when you don't know it, you always answer C. So 73s, everyone. Have a great April Fool's Day. KE8EHG. Back to net.
OMG! That's Mike? Oh, I have to ask, how long did you let him stew? Over?
Oh, I let him stew 45 minutes at least, something like that. And I had, like I said, another truck driver that worked for the company, which I knew him, call him up and everything. Now, I was going to go to the next point where I was going to have my buddy call him and read the VIN number letter for letter for letter for number all this way in the end and change the last one. But I didn't go that far. So he has not retaliated yet. KE8EHG back to net.
All right, Mike. So if I were on the receiving end of that, the payback would be brutal. But, oh, no. It's not like you're waiting for it now. You would never know when it's coming. Never know when it's coming. But when it comes, yeah, watch out for paybacks, Mike. All right, buddy. Great joke, though. I mean, that, wow. KE8EHG, we're going to clear with Mike before we get in trouble with the FCC or something. All right, let's see. WW8TM, Choo-Choos was in and out. One of these days he's going to hang around and have to talk to us. We're going to make sure of that. But we'd certainly say good evening to him. Next up then, KE8UIB, living the $5 dream, a nickel at a time. Good evening, John. How are you and your lovely wife doing? She was sick last time we talked. I think that was Friday. Hopefully she's doing better. And how are you doing? This is W8WKY. Over to you.
W8WKY for KE8UIB. Good evening, Gary, everybody out there on the net. And we'll start off here and knock the trivia out of the way. You know, I'm doing the weekly messaging back and forth with my mom and dad. They'd like to say hi to everybody as they're listening from Akron. And the wife and I are sitting here in the shack. And so with the trivia question, my mom and dad, I think it's Bravo, the one with the penguins. That's what they wanted to go with. The wife and I, we're going to take Echo and see how that goes. She is feeling a little bit better and stuff. She's sitting here in the shack with me, right next to me on hamexam.org, doing some flashcards and working on some practice tests for technician's license. So and listening to the net, so that's a good thing. And I guess the biggest April Fool's joke of the day was I was really expecting to see a nasty day outside, and it really turned into a beautiful day. So that is the April Fool's joke I will definitely take for sure. And you know me, Gary, I'm always living that $5 dream, a nickel at a time. With that, this is KE8UIB. I'm going to go ahead and hand this back over to Net Control. 7-3, y'all. Thanks for the net, Gary.
All right, John, very good. I got your mom and dad down for B, but I didn't hear your answer. Over.
All right, Gary, the wife and I are going to go with E, Echo, and see where that ends up. She was kind of torn between E or B, so I'm just going to pick for the both of us, and we're going to go with E, Echo, and see how that works out. And with that, Gary, this is KE8UIB.
All right, John. I don't know how I missed that, but somehow I did. Got you down for mom and dad, down for B. Hi, mom and dad, if you're listening. Do appreciate you listening, that's for sure. We appreciate everybody on the scanners that listen to us, and hopefully you learn a little bit. There's at least 10% truth in everything we say. That's one of the rules of the net, of all of our nets. We have to maintain at least 10% truth, or the clock's not wound, or something like that. Anyway. All right, we're going to clear with UIB. Let's pick up Craig. AA8CT to take it. W8WKY. How you doing this evening, Craig?
W8WKY, AA8CT. Good evening, Gary. Let's start with the trivia. And I didn't realize this, but if Dave is left-handed, I am left-handed, so I I will go with the obvious answer for left-handed people, which would be alpha. And, you know, as far as what happened on Monday, it was just purely magical, you know, that you just kind of dropped in. It was really great. Have a great evening. Thank you so much for all you do, not only for the club, but just for hams in general. And we look forward to seeing you down AA8CT back to W8WKY. Thank you.
AA8CT, AA8CS. Monday was majestic, Craig. It was absolutely majestic. Now, a couple people said it was magical. A couple people said it was momentous. A couple people said a whole bunch of other things. As a matter of fact, there are many alliterative adjectives for Monday that we kind of went through a bunch of them. But yeah, it was fun. Hard for me to start the week out though at that ungodly hour. I have this thing about Monday morning meetings. Not that the net is a meeting, but I just for too many years I had a 7:30 standing meeting on Monday morning. That is inhuman. That is just not the way you treat other people. So my staff meetings were always Tuesday afternoon, just in case anybody ever wondered. Okay, we're going to clear with you, Craig. Let's pick up Tom down there in Canton, KA8MNT. How you doing, Tom, and how's that lovely bright ears?
W8WKY, this is KA8MNT. Good evening, Gary, and everybody that's on the net. Linda's doing fine. She's sitting here listening to every word, so I got to be good and can't say anything about women's tonight. But as far as the trivia goes, I'm going to go with Echo. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Echo. That's the way that goes. And I would like to thank you for taking about a week off of my life, because when you come out Monday morning, I thought it was Thursday morning, and I was trying to figure out where those 3 days went. So, and it wasn't even April Fool's yet. So with that, I'm going to say 7 threes, everybody, KA8MNT. Back to W8WKY.
Okay, Tom. Yeah, you had three days. That made it magical. Yeah, that made it magical Monday for you. That's for sure. 3 days disappeared. KA8MNT. Tell Linda we said hello. You take care. You guys, I know you got a lot of stuff going on, but it's definitely good to hear you always. KA8MNT, we're going to clear with you. Let's pick up WO3X. Good evening, John. What say you?
Good evening, Gary, and all on the net. This is WO3X, also sometimes known as W03X. Well, we had a fun day today, changing the low beam bulb on the passenger side of the car, and I looked at a video, and it said to take off the front bumper. Well, I started to do that, but one other video said just take off the right front wheel and take out the plastic fender liner there, and then just reach in and change the bulb. Take the old one out, put the new one in, plug it back in. Well, I was afraid that maybe the new bulb would get contaminated, so I started with remove the bumper thing. That way you have the whole light assembly there on the open. Well, there was some flaw in the video, and so I was proceeding along, and here I ended up having to off the wheel and the fender liner and all that anyhow to get to this one bolt. So while I had it like that, I just changed it. And it's actually pretty easy that way. So I had to put what I had taken apart for the bumper removal thing. That's how that went. So I guess that fooled me, huh? That video. Let's see, on the trivia question, I also am going to go with E-Echo. Let's see, what's that? The Eiffel Tower, and on the news not long ago, I thought I heard that France wants the Statue of Liberty back. So maybe that'll be an exchange. So with that, this is WO3X, back to W8WKY. WO3X AA8CS doing business tonight as W8WKY. John, I got to tell you, you hit on something there with changing your headlights in your car. I mean, who would have ever thought we would get to the point where you got to disassemble the car in order to change a bulb? I get it, and I know there was a car, and this isn't an April Fool's joke, by the way, gang. And I forget what car it was, but you had to jack up the engine, disconnect it from its motor mounts, jack it up so that you could change the oil. And there you go. That's where we're at engineering-wise. Unbelievable. Heard more than one story like that. I don't even try anymore. Used to work on the cars, do brakes, did everything. Yeah, I'm gonna age myself here. Points, plugs, condenser. I even had a timing light, believe it or not. All right, well, that's enough of that. John, thanks for being here. I got you down for Echo. Thanks for being a regular on this Tuesday night Sarah Club Net. We're going to clear with WO3X, and let's pick up Jerry in Shreve, KC8HDP, to take it. AA8CS. Good evening, Jerry. What say you?
Well, good evening, Gary, and everyone on the net. This is KC8HDP. I'm going to answer the trivia question before I forget. I am going to go with Bravo. And speaking of flying penguins, there's a commercial on television, or an advertisement on television that drives me nuts. It's for Cheez-Its. And there's this guy who is strapped to, they put a line of Cheez-Its down this hill. And this guy's strapped to a rescue board, which means he's injured. He sees the Cheez-Its, just rolls right out of the rescue board. The straps just fall away. He's sliding down this hill, vacuuming up these Cheez-Its. All of his clothes fall off except his underwear. Now, how does his underwear stay on? I mean, even his boots fly off, his gloves, I mean, everything. You know, his snowsuit, everything gone. So he's sliding down this hill. He gets down to the end there, and there's this wheel of cheddar cheese with a penguin sitting on top of it. And just as he's about ready to grab the wheel of cheddar cheese, the penguin flies off with the wheel of cheese. Now, that whole advertisement's just wrong. Anyway, and one time in a class, I gave an answer similar to W8TD John's answer, and my professor told me to stay out of the philosophical. So anyway, that's all I've got for tonight. Thanks for doing the net this evening, Gary, and interesting trivia question. Hope to see some people at the VE session on Saturday. So that, going to send things back to net. W8WKY and the net from KC8HDP 73.
KC8HDP, W8WKY. All right, Jerry. You know, I got to... there are some really good commercials out there, and I kind of tend to fast forward through most commercials, but I do appreciate a good commercial. I really do. There are a couple out there that just crack me up, and I watch them over and over again, only because they continue to crack me up. Like Emu Inu, the Liberty Mutual commercials, I just think those are hysterical. And their latest one that they've been running with Emu Inu is leaving home so that he can go out and help people save money on their insurance. And he's told that he's not going to make the grade, but nevertheless, he did. Yeah, wonderful. KC8HDP, Jerry, we'll talk to you next Tuesday as you'll be turning the dial. So thank you for doing that, and thanks for being here this evening. Clearing with HDP, let's pick up Mark, K40 God. Good evening, Mark. What say you?
W8WKY, K4OG here. Good evening, everyone, and hello, Gary. Well, I ain't got much to say. Stayed late at work and rushed home to catch this net. Wonderful April Fool's choices. I've been struggling the whole net to figure it all out and take in everybody's input. I'm going to go with Nick. D for dog. That's my answer. K4OG, back to net.
Who let the dogs out? All right, got you down for D Delta Dog. All right, Mark, thanks for being here. I hope you didn't strain yourself too much on the question. I really had a different question for tonight because I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago when Eric had the question about the time on the currency question about the time on the clock on the in Philadelphia, the clock tower, and I got inspired by that, and I do have that question, but then I realized that, wow, this is April 1st. So we got to do something a little different. So that's why we ended up with this one. So I hope you enjoy it. I think it's kind of fun. Well, I'm at the bottom of my list. Let me take a moment and re-identify this as the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net. The name here is Gary. My personal call, AA8CS, and we're doing business tonight as W8WKY. And we are looking for check-ins. Come on down. We'll take some check-ins. I'll reread the question, and then we'll get to it here in a timely fashion. Yes, we will. If you'd like to join us, now's your opportunity. Give me a call.
Kilo, Charlie 8, Echo, Yankee, Dave in East Sparta.
KCA, Foxman Victor, KCNFQV.
Across the way here, neighbor, in Fairlawn.
W8WKY.
All right, let me pick it up. Here's what I have. KC8EEY, KC8FQV, and W2JLS. Was there anybody else in there that I missed?
KC3QND, Genie.
Dan checking in direct.
All right, we're going to work through this. KC3QND, I got you in there, Jeannie. Stand by. There's a there's a carrier on the repeater, and I did hear check-in indirect. So the check-in indirect station, please come back. Okay, I have nothing there. I'm not sure if there's a couple carriers going on there, and you're being covered up or what. But the one station, check in indirect. Please come back by yourself, please.
KJGW, Dan, up on the North Coast, Kilowatt 8, Alpha Golf Whiskey. Yes, I'm trying to get indirect, or I'm in a collision or something, Gary. Over.
All right, Dan, got you that time. K8AGW, got you in the log. Okay, was there anybody else out there? Please come now. Okay, again, we have audio, but there's no signal, or no intelligence there. There's no verbiage, so to speak. I'm not sure what's going on there. Really not sure. Let's go ahead and I'm going to reread the question here, and we're going to go through these few people that we have here. We'll call for check-ins again here before we move on. But here's the question. Which of the following was not an actual April Fool's Day hoax? In other words, all these things were hoaxes perpetuated by some entity of some significance. So, you know, it's not like what Mike did to his neighbor. But anyway, so which of the following was not an actual April Fool's Day hoax? A left-handed burger. B, the flying penguins of Antarctica. C, Big Ben goes digital. D, the moon melon, a fruit that changes flavors. E, the Eiffel Tower relocation project. Those are your distractors, and that is your question. Let's go to KC8EEY. Dave in East Sparta, take it away.
Good evening to the net. I have no idea about the trivia question there, but let's go with B, just off the cuff. I was listening to some people talk about the engineering on cars, and I can remember one time my dad had a car, and we looked for the battery, and we could not find the battery. Here you ended up having to pull the wheel and take the inner fender shield off, and it was located at the bottom of the engine compartment, shrouded in all kinds of stuff. He eventually got rid of that car, and probably glad of it. Okay, glad to be back up here north from being a snowbird in Florida, and hate to see the rain coming in here, but and the cold weather coming next week. But hey, this too shall pass. Okay, turn it back to the net controller. This is KC8EEY.
KC8EEY, W8WKY. All right, Dave. Hey, I got to ask you, that didn't happen to be a Chrysler 300M, did it? Over.
You know, to be honest with you, I can't remember what the make was. I don't think Dad ever owned a Chrysler, but I just remember it, and I can't remember what the make was. But you may be correct on that.
Okay, Dave. Well, I got to tell you, we owned a Chrysler 300M and we needed to replace the battery, or the battery needed to be replaced, and that's exactly what you had to do. It was down under. You had to remove the wheel, and it was down underneath. It's like no mortal human could change that without a lift. I mean, it was ridiculous. So I get you. My first and last Chrysler. There you go. And by the way, welcome home, Snowbird. All right, Dave. Take care. KC8EEY, we're going to clear with you. Let's pick up KC8FQV. Good evening, Mark. What say you?
Oh, good evening, Gary. Yeah, Gary. I'm going to say the moon. I think it was a fruit and moon or something I heard. And, how could you not remember what car it was? Because you wouldn't want to go back and buy another one of them. Yeah, I've heard cars have had batteries all over the place. It's not too bad in the trunk. The one I had before, this one I got, it wasn't the back trunk, but they had jump posts up on the engine block, up in the engine compartment, so you could jump. I think the car before that, I never had to deal with the battery on that one. I think it was under the seat, and that was that yak I had. I think it was under the seat, and that whole, I think that might have been, no, it wasn't the J line. It was the old Cutlass A, it was a Bonneville. Trying to think what it was on the Buick Park Avenue, probably. I think that was the model. But some of these cars that they make, they're actually a joke. And I know the mechanics just hate them. As a matter of fact, whoever designing them should have to work in the garage when doing them, so that they would realize that it's not just a simple thing, and how you cannot remember what the car is because you wouldn't want to go back and buy it again. You would want to avoid it by all means. As a matter of fact, probably if you were, I know I didn't ask when I bought this car I just bought, but probably you ask anyone in that dealership, I would venture to say, and probably guaranteed, that not a one of them could tell where the battery is in a car. It's just a joke anymore. Our society is the biggest joke it's coming to be. So we'll send it back to net, but the moon and fruit one, Gary. So KC8FQB back to net control.
W8WKY.
All right, Mark. Well, I can understand completely why one would want to forget about a car like that, because you just want to forget about it because of the experience. It's very forgettable. I get that. The other thing, Mark, I would think mechanics would love this because, like me, I used to do most of my mechanical work myself. Don't do it anymore. I mean, for a long time I haven't done it because of the things that, the battery and stupid things like that, and trying to change a light bulb. Who was that talking about? I think that was John, W03X, was talking about trying to change the low beam on his car. You can't get to it without disassembling Johnny 5. I mean, it's ridiculous, actually. I mean, that part of it is anyway. But the mechanics should love it because, you got to bring your car in to change a light bulb? Well, there you go. All right, Mark. Good to hear you this evening, and you take care. Have a fabulous evening, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Heading out to my neighbor's house, W2JLS. Good evening, John. How are you doing this evening? Haven't talked to you. Well, no. You checked in. You checked in on the barometer that you were heading to work, I think. But anyway, how are things going? W2JLS. W8WKY.
Whiskey 8 Whiskey Kilo Yankee, my neighbor, Gary, Alpha Alpha 8 Charlie Sierra. This is John, W2JLS. Yeah, I was scooting off to work this morning, and you sounded like you were in thicker traffic than I was, so I just wanted to throw in one for the numbers. So there's that. And let's see, thinking of things that have happened to me on April Fool's Day, I'm sure there were some good ones, but all right, I do have one. This is an ex-girlfriend. This is back when the internet was, I wouldn't say it was brand new, but it was popular with some kind of funny cartoons and such, and one of them was a cartoon character called Homestar Runner. And the girl I was dating, we'd watch that occasionally, and she knew I liked it. And this guy, Homestar Runner, for those of you who know him, you know him, and those of you who are in front of a computer, you could look him up, and you'll know what I'm about to relate. I get home from work, and my friend Mark kind of gave me the heads up, like, hey, Don, you should, something. He came up with some excuse for me to get back to my place real quick, and so I got back there, and I let myself in. The door was unlocked, and I find my girlfriend is in bed, and I could hear coming out of the room some noises. Basically Homestar Runner as a character, and she lifted a line out of that, and it was kind of compromising. And I walk in, and she is in bed in a negligee with a cardboard cutout that she went to great lengths to craft this Homestar Runner character with. And, obviously making on like the good times were over for she and I, and that was one of Homestar's quotes. Anyway, I probably need to time out here. Okay, so there's one for you. I'll leave it at that. Hope I didn't hog too much mic with that. The trivia question, I was listening on my way home. When I heard it, I did hear the choices repeated. And I'm going to go with Big Ben going digital, especially as you were kind of thinking of clocks and W8ELM in general. You had a question a few weeks or a month or two ago about Big Ben. When I think of Big Ben, I don't think of it as a clock. I think of it as a bell, and I'm hoping that's the answer. I haven't heard anyone say that yet, but you may have missed that. W2JLS, back to net.
W2JLS, W8WKY. All right, John, got you down for Charlie. You are the second person to choose Charlie. K8EHG did. I pulled up Homestar Runner. There are tons of episodes. So I'm gonna partake and just see if I can catch a glimpse into John's personality here early on. So I'm thinking this was probably 90s maybe or early 2000s perhaps. I haven't looked at a date here, but I'm thinking that's been 25 years ago. That this occurrence happened. So we'll see what that's all about, John. We'll critique you later, sir. All right, we're going to clear with W2JLS. Let's head up and pick up Jeannie, KC3QND. Good evening, Jeannie. Thanks for stopping by this evening.
KC3QND, Jeannie here. Hello, Gary. Nice hearing you tonight. I have no idea about the trivia question, but the Big Ben thing going digital kind of struck a nerve there. I don't think that would be nice. But we'll pick that one, whatever that letter was. The Eiffel Tower thing sounded okay, too. But I don't know which one it is, but I'll go with C. When in doubt, go with C. So it was a good day today, beautiful day outside. And happy April Fool's Day to everybody, and hope everybody didn't get fooled too bad. I had a good day, so I escaped the April Fools. So I cleared that bullet. So with that, that's about all I got. Have a wonderful night. 73, everybody. KC3QND.
KC3QND, W8WKY. All right, Jeannie. First, again, thanks for stopping by. We do appreciate that. And I do have you down for Charlie. Teaching in the classroom is ripe for April Fool pranks and what have you. So, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that goes on, but nevertheless, most of it's fun. Most of it's in good. Except, holy cow! I don't know if you heard Mike's about him playing the prank on his neighbor today about his motorcycle he just bought. He had him thinking that it was stolen. That is low. That is cruel. But that is funny. All right, let's see. Bottom of the list here, K8AGW. Dan, you're still on the good list. You're just at the bottom of it. Good to hear you this evening. K8AGW to take it. W8WKY.
Well, good evening, everybody. This is K8AGW, and according to the front of my radio here, W8WKY is almost full scale. It looks like good conditions, and so I thought I'd go direct. And hopefully, it's easy on your ears. Got off the Norris 10-meter net previous, and so we thought we'd give this a try because conditions seem to be pretty good all the way around this evening. No storms and noise levels and so on. So, and I heard, like you mentioned, you were going to be net control tonight, so we thought we'd give it a try. So, yeah, I was saying, when you first come on with the trivia, I was thinking of Big Ben also. So with that, Gary, I hope I'm making a trip direct. And Jeannie sounds real good. I don't know if she linked up, but she's good, solid at W8WKY. So hopefully, likewise, I am. And thanks for doing the net. And we'll try to catch you in the morning. And I'll be one and done, Gary. So best of 73, everybody. And so this is, I think this might be the first time I might check in direct here. Maybe not, I don't know. Anyhow, I'll quit rambling. Back to you, Gary. K8AGW. I'll be clear.
W8WKY.
All right, Dan. Yeah, a little. You have some noise on your signal, but 100% copy. No problem with the copy whatsoever. So that's a route, and it seems to work just fine. Glad you checked in, and glad we got you in here. Sorry you got stepped on there a couple times, but we did get you in the log. All right, and got you down for C2 if I didn't mention that. I'm at the bottom of my list, and we are past the bewitching hour here at, I have 9:03 p.m. I'm going to go ahead and get the trivia question out of the way here, and then if there's anybody else out there that has any comments or would like to check in, we'll do that in just a second. So the question again was, which of the following was not an actual April Fool's Day hoax? And the answer to that question is D, the moon melon, a fruit that changes flavors. And I'll come up with an explanation here in just a minute. Let me grab a second here. Okay, all these other things were major April Fool's Day hoaxes, and let's see, let's start with A. The left-handed burger. In 1998, Burger King published an ad in USA Today claiming that they had designed a Whopper for left-handed people by rotating the condiments. Yeah, that's what they did. Many customers fell for it and requested one. Then again, for letter B, the flying penguins of Antarctica, 2008, that is really and truly an April Fool's hoax, if you would. The BBC in 2008 released a fake nature documentary showing penguins that had evolved to fly. A well-produced CGI video helped sell that illusion. Distractor C, Big Ben goes digital. Well, in 1980, the BBC, again the BBC, they must be real jokesters over there in England. But the BBC announced that Big Ben would be converted into a digital clock. It caused an uproar. It was meant as a joke, but many people were not amused. And Distractor E, the Eiffel Tower relocation project, that happened in 1986. A French newspaper claimed that the Eiffel Tower was going to be dismantled and rebuilt at Euro Disney, sparking widespread backlash before the prank was revealed. So there you go. Those were real ones. The moon melon, on the other hand, it's actually an intranet myth, not an official April Fool's prank. It was widely circulated online as a Japanese fruit that changes flavors depending on what you eat afterward. But no credible source ever announced it was a real joke. So that was really an internet kind of thing. I will say something else. Let me grab another second here. There actually is a real fruit that does alter taste perception, and that is Syncephalon decificum. It's a small red berry. Mostly known as the miracle berry. It's a small red berry. It contains miraculin, which temporarily binds to taste receptors and makes sour foods like lemons and vinegar taste sweet. Unlike the moon melon, this fruit is a real fruit, and it's actually been a subject of study for the effects it has on taste receptors. So there you have it. That was the trivia question. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of fun, and some of those things I didn't know. I never knew the BBC was such jokesters. But there you have it. All right, this is the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net. This is Gary. AA8CS doing business tonight is W8WKY. If you have comments, questions, or if you'd like to check in, now's your opportunity. This is W8WKY, standing by for your call.
This is KAGW recheck, Gary, over.
K8AGW. Go ahead with your recheck, Dan. This is W8WKY.
Hey, W8WKY. I thought you'd be interested in president. Seems like whether they did some work on the repeater or what, but you're full scale here in Avon Lake, the repeater, and everybody been connected up real well tonight, so everything. So I think up when I check in with you in the morning, because, might be conditions. So I'll continue to check in with link-ups, but I sit over here and seeing at W8WKY's full scale, I thought I'd give it a try to check into the net. So those that maintain the repeater, I hope this is a helpful repair, Gary. This is KAGW clearing back to net control.
All right, Diane. As a matter of fact, the sun being as active as it is, we got a lot of solar conditions that are affecting propagation and that type of thing. So, one day chicken, next day feathers. Sometimes that's the way it goes. But like I said, you sounded good tonight. There's noise on your signal, but your audio is loud and clear. So well done tonight, Dan. All right, K8AGW, we're going to clear with you. Nothing heard, so let's go ahead and close this out. And I will do that. So at this time, and it is 9:10. At 9:10 p.m., we're going to close the net with 27 check-ins this evening. I want to thank all the listeners and all of you who participated in tonight's net. You got to remember, it's your participation that makes this net and our club the success that it is. Don't forget to check into the Drive Time Barometer net Monday through Saturday at the ungodly hour at 7 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. Beacon Net on Wednesdays and Sundays. Till next Tuesday when Jerry Stroop, KC8HDP. Jerry will be turning the dials. I want to say 73, and good evening to everyone. This is AA8CS doing business tonight as W8WKY, returning this repeater back to standard and open amateur radio use. W8WKY, AA8CS is clear. 73, everybody. Have a terrific evening.
Okay, Gary, I forgot to mention one thing. Well, I was down in Uniontown. I brought the repeater up. I sort of heard myself just before Newsline. I was going to mention that, KSFQV.
All right, Mark. Very good. Thank you for that. And again, you have a fabulous evening. KC8FQV, AA8CS.
Well, I guess we're up the net tomorrow night at 10, so I'll let you know how my day goes tomorrow at the doctor's. Hopefully they'll be able to tell me what's going. So, yeah, I got a few little issues. There's some marks. There's a leg that is sort of itches all the time and tingles a little bit. So, I said, that's what they get paid to do. I'll leave them figure it out. So, we'll catch you later tomorrow night and tomorrow morning, Fred, KSFQV.
W8WKY.
AA8CS, this is KA8LYJ. Are you still out there, Gary? Nothing heard. Guess Gary's QRT. KA8LYJ is clear.